A perfectly square quilt is one that you want to achieve. You'll not only gain your extra points at the quilt show, but will allow your quilts to lie flat on the bed and will hang straight as a wall hanging. The following video will take you through a few steps that I use to create that look. To square up a quilt, you need the right supplies. You'll need glasses, perhaps. You need your cutting scissors. You might use a rotary cutter. You're definitely going to need a General's chalk pencil, or if your quilt top is a light colored fabric, you use a water erasable pen. And I have two varieties here, a thin and a thick version. You also might need an alternative light source. This is the Mighty Bright. You'll definitely need some Quilter's Energy. We always keep some of that around. And of course you need your rulers. These are two rulers that I'm using today. It's an Omni Grid. This is a 3x18. And this is a 6x24 inch ruler. This is the quilt we're working with. We're going to pretend that it's all quilted. This is not quite finished yet, as you can see. The first step is to take out all of the basting stitches. So with your scissors, you can simply cut these stitches and then pull out all your basting. All your quilting stitches will hold your quilt in place. And now that all the basting is out, we're ready to begin the squaring process. So using two of your rulers, we're going to randomly select a 1/2 inch as the size we want to cut this at. So from the outside edge of this quilt, which I'm going to deem this line, I'm going to measure a 1/2 inch in. So setting my ruler 1/2 inch and a 1/2 inch in two directions, which is the beauty of the see-through ruler. So it's a 1/2 inch on this side, and then we're going to flush this second ruler up this way. So it's also a 1/2 inch here. I'm going to make sure they're flush because you're going to force this 90-degree angle to be formed no matter where it lies on your quilt. And then you can use your pencil, your non-permanent marker, to draw that line. Now we can take this ruler without moving this one. Let's move this out of our way and bring it up here. And again, line it up a 1/2 inch, exactly where you want it, without moving this side ruler like I just did. And then line it up a 1/2 inch from that line. And this ruler holding in place will allow this ruler to follow that same square that you're building. Now keeping this ruler in place, you can move this ruler down. Also, again, measuring a 1/2 inch from this line out. Right there. And you can slide this in now to fill in that perfect 90-degree angle. See, from here to here to here, and then you already did your bottom one. So now this worked out perfectly. If your quilt doesn't work out perfectly, you just make a small adjustment here, see, like that, or this way if you need to. But in any event, it's always going to be in this square shape. And now that you're all squared up, you just need to do your cutting. That's your cutting line. So with your ruler and your rotary cutter, you just measure back on that line. Open your rotary cutter, always pushing away from you and working on a rotary cutting mat. Cut up that line and trim it away on all 4 sides. Or what I like to do is use my scissors, especially on big quilts, on queen size, and I go snip, snip, snip right up that line. And then once all 4 sides are cleaned up, we're ready for binding. Thanks for joining me today.